talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh, I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How you doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Let's talk. I want you all to pay attention to this because this is going to affect a majority of everyone working at the Postal Service. I just got the wind and I got the news, and somebody asked me a question about, I got, my carrier group, and they was sitting there talking about, hey, you know what? I noticed UPS ain't coming by no more. UPS ain't been dropping off their stuff no more. UPS. So Jay did due diligence. It's kind of what I do. Snoop around, be nosy, and just found out, and I quote, the Postal Service has reviewed the practice of using dual shipping labels and has found that this practice no longer serves the interest of the Postal Service. As a result, the Postal Service is proposing to discontinue the use of dual shipping labels. Items bearing dual shipping labels should not be accepted and may be returned to sender. Postal Service is proposing this to be implemented, change effective January 1st, 2025. This is not a good thing because, number one, regardless of what people think, UPS has a big majority. 25% of the parcels that we move are through UPS. 25%. That's a lot. That is a lot of lost revenue. Carriers are probably rejoicing. F them. We ain't want to deliver your little posts or whatever the hell you call them. Yeah. Not good for rural carriers, not good for carriers, not good for clerks. Less, domino effect. Less money. Listen, reduced workload. With a decrease in parcel volume, there's less work for USPS employees, particularly those involved in the sorting, the clerks in the morning with a beep, 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 processing, beep, 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 beep. We don't throw. Y'all don't throw. You place, right? You sort and plate. And delivery of those packages. That's the carriers. Financial strain. Lower revenue from parcel deliveries will put financial pressure on the USPS, potentially leading to budget cuts, which they've been all doing, and downsizing. Operational adjustments. When they talk about adjustments, they talking about fixing people's bids. Because if you don't need 3 clerks there early in the morning because the quantity is no longer there, we have to find a place for that clerk that receives, right? I mean, this is kind of how the logistics end works of it. The clerks understand their job. The carriers understand their job. I kind of understand it all. Got family in all of them. It's a challenging situation. And this guy just came out the shower. Like, you cannot interrupt, bro, when I'm being serious. All right, anyway, go get a job, bro. I apologize. It's a challenging situation. They're going to be, with losing revenue and the post office saying so boldly, we're not going to accept that, right? We're not going to accept that. That's going to force one or two things. If UPS cannot get their last mile delivery, if I, as a consumer, say, hey, I want to mail this to somewhere, and UPS says, listen, we don't go to that address, because a lot of addresses they don't go to. They're either going to up the bounty, charge them a ridiculous amount of money to find somebody that will, because now they're going to have a contractor do it. Or at that point, the people are going to come over to United States Postal Service. and then spend their money there. Now, with that being said, the Postal Service can't just accept this little bit of money with this ground advantage thing that they've been doing. They're going to have to up their prices. We know they have to up their prices because carriers ain't making no money. And these contracts is coming up today and the economy sucks and we all need money. There's going to be a big domino effect. What happens to the carriers? What happens to the carriers? The ones that live off of overtime. And no matter what we say, we shouldn't have to live off of overtime. But there's a lot of people that do. A lot of people need the overtime. A lot of people beat the overtime. And like I said, you need to check out Chooch because he's going to talk and expose that whole overtime situation. But what happens in that scenario? If 25% overall parcels, we're talking about the whole industry, that means 25% of a carrier's load is now reduced. What's it going to get replaced with? Amazon is getting more and more of those trucks out there to do their deliveries. We don't get as much Amazon, no matter what you think and what you say. 4 years ago, we had more Amazon than we do today. We're only getting USPS parcels. I'm not saying we only get that, but if everybody's doing their own thing and we're losing volume of work, what does that do to our workforce as a whole? This is not to scare anybody. This is reality. Remember I made a video said big changes coming? Big changes are here. It's not that it's coming, it's here. And this may be part of that DeJoy's plan of, upping up the ante of how much it charges to deliver stuff. Because if they reduce the volume of what a carrier has to deliver, they have to make that money up somewhere. Not saying they're going to go in the carrier's pocket, but they have to make the money up going somewhere. This is also where this Trump thing and talking about the privatization comes in. I still don't believe that, but all these things are floating in the air. But that's a big hit. They've been like this for all that time. All that time they've been like this. We've been using FedEx planes. They don't use them no more. They're reducing the amount of dependency on outside entities in order to try to save some money. But in turn, what's happening to the work? Like I said before, carriers probably love it. Oh man, I hate shore posts. Yes, I'm pretty sure a lot of people do. As the clerks is there sorting, 25% of the load of the work now just automatically disappears. Does that mean you work at a slower pace? Because if the carriers don't know, the clerks are also monitored on how many they distribute to each of your gurneys in the morning. So a clerk can't sit there and scan 20 packages in an hour. That's just not realistic. They have a bigger reality, bigger quantity that they have to do. Everybody's monitored by the amount of work that they do. Some people may say, oh, that's micromanaging. In my opinion, that's being effective. You're utilizing each individual to do a certain amount of work. Somebody reached out to me, told me not to speak about it because got a lot of people that watch me from that person's place, and said, once somebody becomes and converts to career, they tend to lose their oomph. They slow down a lot. And this is true. You all know that. That's not a debatable fact. Not everybody, but each of you know somebody that does that. So if the person that used to do whatever it is, if they were a carrier and they used to hustle, then they used to cover this amount of work, and now that they're career, they only cover this amount of work, they lost the productivity. Same thing with clerks. They lost the productivity. Same thing with truck drivers, etc. If you're monitored off of the quantity of work that you do and you reduce the amount of work, that work still has to get done. Somebody else has to take on your workload. It sucks, but that's where there's so much up in the air right now between obviously all these unions. Rural carriers will be affected quite a bit. I think they'll get the hardest hit from it because a lot of the stuff that UPS sends to us has to go through a rural route eventually. So if rural carriers reduce their actual amount that they're delivering, they already took big hits. They already took like $10,000 to $15,000 shaved off of their yearly salary. That'll be more shaved off. You see where we're going with this? This is something we have to keep our eye on. Again, not to alert anybody, but to inform you of what's to come. There's nothing, you go back 6 months, a year, 2 years, there's nothing that I've informed you that was yet to come that has not come. We don't know how it's going to play out, but it's coming. And now these things are here. So be informed. If you do happen to have some different changes going on, make sure that you understand that we still, much as we don't like Amazon, we kind of need them at this point. No Amazon Sunday? Can you imagine? No Amazon Sunday. How much revenue? Oh, they don't pay us shit anyway. Something's better than nothing, and it keeps people afloat. I'm telling you, the way a business model works, we're not a business. If they have people and they got people coming in and getting paid, it's a business. And they're selling stuff and they're getting money in return, it's a business. It was never meant to be that way. It is what it is. Carriers going broke right now, right? So they have to generate revenue in order to keep the carriers afloat, in order to keep truck drivers afloat, in order to keep the post office afloat. Information passed on to you. Do with it with you will. If for some reason y'all notice some things change, let me know. Remember Temu came out and all of a sudden ain't nobody getting Temu no more. They found somebody else to deliver for them. Temu, them orange big things, they were here, now they gone. Think about this. Get a big bunch of revenue, lose it. These big companies ain't using us like they used to. I don't know, fam. Y'all tell me what you think. It's not a debate. It's just a conversation, but it's happening. It's happening. Anyway, y'all have yourself a good rest of your day. Holla at your boy.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.